In just a few hours, we could see the beginning of a possible turning point in the migrant crisis here in the city.
Yeah, Mayor Adams is set to meet with President-elect Trump's border czar, Tom Homan, who has promised mass deportations of undocumented immigrants across the country.
Eyewitness News reporter Reagan Medji joins us live now outside of City Hall ahead of today's meetings. Reagan?
Yeah, and ahead of that meeting, there are protests that just started. Now, originally this meeting was supposed to be at 10 o'clock this morning, and I spoke with some organizers of the protesters who are basically standing up for the immigrants, and they said that, you know, the people who decided to come out here, the supporters, they rearranged their day thinking that, hey, Tom Homan is going to be meeting with Mayor Eric Adams at 10, so 9:30 was when the protest was going to happen. Well, as we know, that meeting has shifted to 1 o'clock this afternoon, but in the meantime, there are a lot of supporters out here that came out anyway. I'm going to step out of the camera view so you can see that we have a group sitting situated outside of City Hall right now. The plan for this group right now is basically to kind of canvass the area, go around City Hall, and stop regular New Yorkers like you and me and explain exactly what this meeting is all about, what this meeting between Mayor Eric Adams and the incoming border czar, Tom Homan, means for them. So I just spoke with an organizer with one of the groups. The group's is Jews for Racial and Economic Justice, and this is how she explains what their purpose is for today. Take a listen.
What we know and what we've seen over and over again, all the signs are there that Mayor Adams is clearly willing to collaborate with Trump's mass deportation plan. And so immigrant New Yorkers and allies are out here to say we refuse, we reject that idea.
So again, this meeting between Mayor Eric Adams and the incoming border czar, Tom Homan, comes at a time where Homan said he would enact incoming President Trump's mass deportation promises and withhold funding from sanctuary cities like New York City. More than 225,000 asylum seekers arrived in this city over the past 2 years. Nearly 57,000 are still receiving care here. Now, it's cost taxpayers billions of dollars and pushed Mayor Adams to be at odds with the Biden administration's immigration policy. Adams now wants local law enforcement to work with federal immigration agents to deny, detain, and deport migrants committing crimes.
I want to hear what the borders are, what his ideas are, because justice is making sure that person serves a sentence. If that person commits a serious violent act and he's automatically cut loose, we can find that person back on our streets. And you can find that person, not every country will make sure that person serves out his time. If there's a way to have an agreement that they serve out their time in that country, I can live with that.
Meanwhile, the city announced earlier this week it will be closing Floyd Bennett Field in Brooklyn in the next 2 months. Now, by late February, the migrant shelter on Randall's Island is expected to close. Now, overall, from November, 25 shelters will be closed. That is due to a steady decline of migrants arriving to this city. Now we're taking another live shot back here. This is outside City Hall. We have several groups, the immigration rights supporter groups out here basically to just disseminate information, their feelings about the incoming border czar, Tom Homan, meeting with Mayor Eric Adams. A lot of these supporters are not in support of that meeting. The fear is that the border czar, who has said that he wants to separate families, that he will do just that. You know, we're talking to some people who feel like they are directly impacted to all of this, and they say it's just not fair. Now, the incoming border czar also says that the focus also is for the migrants who have committed crimes here in the city, and that is exactly what Mayor Adams has been kind of focusing on recently as well. So, again, this meeting between the incoming border czar and also with Mayor Eric Adams has been rescheduled to 1 o'clock this afternoon. Now, this group behind me, up until that point, will basically be meeting up with everyday New Yorkers around City Hall and explaining to them their side of what it feels like for this incoming border czar to come to the city. We're live here outside City Hall. Reagan Medji, Channel 7, Eyewitness News. Reagan, thanks so much for that. So 1 o'clock, we will be checking back in with Reagan.
So in her shot, we saw the sun is shining, but people bundled up with those heavy